Okay, so what I'm going to do for this one, I'm going to show you how to find the slope using the slope triangle. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to find the values. I'm actually going to create two different slope triangles for you. And when I create my slope triangle, what I'm going to do is we're just going to find the difference of our change in our x's and our change in our y's. And then we're just going to determine the slope of this graph. Now, as I read this graph from left to right, we can see that this graph is going up in the positive direction. Therefore, I know my slope is going to be a positive one. Now, the next thing I need to do is I need to create a slope triangle that's going to help me to be able to determine what is the change in my y-coordinates over the change in my x-coordinates. Now, there's two different slope triangles that we can create. We can create one that's going to be above our line or below our line. But the main important thing before we can do that is actually find out our coordinates. Now, on this graph, I kind of used my own coordinates that I had because I had to create the line. So I found a coordinate here and a coordinate here. And this coordinate is at 2, 1. And this coordinate is at -2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Now, again, when creating a slope triangle, it's important to only use horizontal and vertical lines. So from this point, I could create a vertical line. And I can also create a horizontal line. All right? And then from my other coordinate, I can create a horizontal line and a vertical line. All right? And so by doing that, you don't need to create all these extra lines over here. But so if I kind of erase all this excess, what you'll notice is I have created two triangles here. So the first one I'll do in kind of green. And then the other one I'll do in red. All right? So it's important when we only use vertical and horizontal lines that we create right triangles. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to be concerned with how we find or how we're subtracting. All I want to do is use my graph now to be able to determine what is the change in the y and the change in the x. So from this point to this point, how far did I go up? What was my change in my y values? Well, I went up how many units? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I did a change of 7 units. All right? And we're just going to keep everything positive because then what we'll know is we're going to go in that positive direction. Now let's go and take a look at the change in the x. So from left to right, how far did I change horizontally? Well, from this point, it went over 1, 2, 3, 4 units. All right? Now remember, when finding the change in our slope, all we're trying to do is trying to find the change in my y-coordinates over the change in my x-coordinates. So that would be 7 over 4. And since we're going in the positive direction, we know the graph is going to be positive. And you could do the exact same thing going left to right. You get the exact same values of 4 and 7. And since my graph is going left to right, going in the positive direction, my slope would be positive. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you find the slope from a graph. Thanks.